Well, here we are. We're live again. Welcome to Crucial Con 2021. We have a special guest for you. We've got the art director from Quarantine Studios, William Everhart, and I love that last name. How you doing, William?
I'm doing great, Jimmy. How about yourself?
Doing great. Yeah, love having a lot of fun doing all these interviews today. So it feels like, like you're an action star. Familiar with Everhart as the last name. It's just, I don't know, love it.
Oh yeah, that's me. Last action hero.
So, folks, today we've got William here to give us an update about the Lady Death Seductress statue, as you see sitting there right next to him, and we got a special announcement. But first, let's talk about the Seductress. What's the latest on this? What's the update?
Well, we are working very much with our factory overseas to get her to the shores as quick as possible. We got approvals on the box art, which I can talk about a little later. So all of that is in full production. They are going as fast as they possibly can to get her ready for us. We're looking at probably fourth quarter release for hers, actually hitting the shores and getting into people's hands. So we're thinking maybe just before Christmas, fingers crossed, maybe a little earlier than that.
Fourth quarter
this year.
2020.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. We're talking Christmas this year. Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's exciting. Okay. Yeah. That's great. Okay. Good news. That was great news. But we've got a special announcement. I'm going to have this picture ready to go. So I'll let you take it away. What's coming up from Quarantine Studios?
From Quarantine Studios. Okay, well, we've had such great success here with the Lady Death, with the Seductress piece here. And you guys have such a great canon of characters. I mean, we've been fans a long time of Coffin Comics, and so working with Brian, I said, hey, what else have we got that we can do? There's so many different things. What are we going to do next? And so we're going to go with the Hell Witch. So what you're seeing there is a rough 3D rendering. This is actually in production. It's in the 3D stages right now. Our artist is working away on that, and that's, like I said, just kind of a rough draft piece there. But you get an idea of the pose and the look that's going to be happening here, and the amount of detail. Of course, it's going to be over-the-top detail. This particular statue is going to be a little bit larger than the Lady Death Seductress. This is going to be a 1/5 scale. And we went with this larger scale because she is in a different pose there. Of course, she's kind of squatting down with the wings out. And we didn't want something really short. So we went ahead and made her a little bit larger. And that also helps with those wings, those outstretched wings. If you've got really thin, dainty parts like that with those big, heavy wings on them, you can run into some problems there in manufacturing. So we didn't want that to happen. We always want to put out the best product we can. So we decided to go with a little bit larger scale and beef that up a little bit. Should make for a really, really impressive display.
Good call. Good call. And then the pre-orders start Q1 of 2021?
That's correct. Yes. Pre-orders of the Hell Witch will begin sometime in first quarter of 2021. Like I said, we're really early on in the stages here. We're still in the design stages. And obviously, as you can see from the 3D sculpture, we've got some work to go there, but it's going pretty fast, actually. So, but Q1, she'll be available for pre-order.
That is awesome. Let's see. We got some comments here. Is this based off Mike Chrome's Hell Witch? Yes, that is correct, Matthew. Let's see, I've got that artwork right there. So this one, get rid of your notes. Boom. Yeah, so that's the one it's based off of. So she's got the heart, and then I don't know. This one really reminds me of Brian Pulido. Something about this is like the essence of Brian. It's like his is the energy. You know, Brian walks into the room. It's just like the vibrations like increase and just. But yeah. That's right. For sure. Mike Chrome artwork right there. Let's see what else folks are saying. Dave Balance, a nice render so far. Yeah, it's just the beginning stages. That's exciting. Is she going to stay topless?
That's a good question. And I don't know how much I can say about that just yet.
We don't know. All right, we'll just let that.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. That's right. Stay tuned.
That's right.
Oh, awesome. He's saying awesome. Let's see. I'd be quite happy to throw my pre-order monies at you right now. Okay. Thank you. That's good. I'm going to get everything locked and loaded. Let's see. Boom. Drake. Yeah. Love the heart in the hand. Oh, yeah. That was cool. Any chance for a Lamorta? I don't know if we could.
Yeah. See, all these great questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
That's right. Stay tuned.
So Jeff, loves it. Freaking awesome. Asking for an ad top version. Okay. Noted. Very good. O'Haley again. Yep. Hellwitch statue based on Micromes. Yep. You know it. O'Haley again. Best news ever. Yeah. You know it. Matthew, sick. Yes. Love it. Okay. All right.
Yeah, we thought everybody would have a pretty good time with that one. It was we looked through a lot of the different poses with the Hellwitch, and I mean, come on, you guys are the best at this. So you guys always work with the best artists, and we're really honored to work with you on the statue and the Hellwitch. But that pose, man, it screamed something to us. I said, yeah, man, that's the one we got to do. So that's the one we went with. It's awesome.
So once again, this is the Microme. This is based off of. Let's do this. Oh, it's still. So this is the Kickstarter edition, and this is the one that artwork is based off of. And so Brian Pulido's art direction on that, working with the great artists. It's just, that's a great choice. You guys picked a very good one. Speaking of art director, so you're the art director at Quarantine Studios. Can you tell us a little bit about Quarantine and?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm the art director here at Quarantine. I've done art direction for a number of years in different places, mostly in printing. But I came on and partnered with Paul, who is the owner of Quarantine, and I came on as the art director. As far as like what we do, we were founded about 2008. But our history goes back further than that. And in fact, Paul and I, we're like brothers from different mothers kind of a thing. We go back a long way. We've been buddies for a long time. And he was a collector, and I'm a model builder and painter, and I get into some other stuff, of course, with the artwork. And we actually started off a company, a garage kit model company. So we manufacture model kits, basically by hand. Each one of these things are custom pieces, and people could purchase and assemble and paint themselves. And we did that under another banner, and we did that for a number of years, putting out about 4 to 5 different model kits a year, which was a record. And, we did it all when it come to the garage kit industry. We started seeing a trend in that industry that, one, the quality of the products are getting better and better. And it was harder to meet the demand that was out there. And a lot of the modelers, the true hardcore modelers, the guys that didn't mind, cleaning up seams and things like that, well, they were kind of dying off or going away, what have you. I'm one of those guys, but I'm still alive and kicking. Well, they were trying to, they were kind of going away, and a lot of the new folks coming in, they really didn't want to deal with that. They really would just like to paint something or just take something out of a box and it's already painted and just display it. People just wanted a really nice display piece. So we founded Quarantine Studio back in 2008 to serve that need. But we still, because we have that heritage of a garage kit company, we still manufacture garage kits. Just on a little bit different scale. I don't know that you can call these garage kits now. In fact, all of our statues are offered fully painted, as you see, or unpainted. And I actually have a sample of Lady Death over here as an unpainted sample we can look at in just a moment. But so that's kind of where we came from, and we still respect where we came from. Still serve that market. We still have quite a few fans in that market, but. Like I said, we did see the growing trend of people wanting to have a nice collectible statue that maybe didn't have, the skill set or even the urge to paint these things themselves. So that's what we did. And me coming from a printing and art background, I really wanted to get into the box art itself. So I don't do any of the sculpting. I do the paint work on most of these pieces, not all of them. Lady Death is one of mine that I painted. But I really focus on the box art for these pieces. So every one of these pieces that someone orders, not only are you getting a beautiful statue, but you're getting a collectible box to go with it, and it's really packaged really nice. We try to do that and give it something for the customer to have that they can enjoy for many years to come. So that's kind of what we do.
All right, two things. Speaking of garage kits and speaking of packaging. So over in my office, this is the Polaroids reissue of the lower models. Love the, I guess I'm one of the old guys too. This is the very first one I did. I love cutting with the X-Acto knife and cutting off the plastic and all that stuff. So that's why I was super excited to talk to you, because I haven't really done no time for models lately, but one day I'll retire and I'll get back to all the models I have in my closet just waiting for me, collecting dust.
That, folks, is a true modeler right there. One day when I retire, I'll get back to these. What you can't see off camera is about 500 model kits over here unbuilt.
Yeah, it's staggering. Okay, so what I love is the combination of the statue and the box art.
Yeah. And
we got an example of the box art here. Let me pop it up here. So this is very unique for the statue to be in, because it's not like the normal. So is this the full? First of all, is this the approved, fully finished box art we're looking at?
Yes, that is a rendering of the box art. The box itself, that one, it didn't particularly have it on it, but the newest one does. The artwork is exactly the same. It looks going to look exactly the same. But in the front right there, the face is kind of the lower left. There's going to be a little tab to help keep the lid locked. And you've seen these before in other cardboard boxes. You kind of release this little tab and then the lid can lift out. And in the case, and I believe you have maybe a photo of the pieces inside, but
yep. So we got, pull this from your Facebook page. Yeah. So this is, I love how it's positioned this way. And it just, so the top comes off. So I hate the ones you have to pull it up and it's like the styrofoam. So styrofoam's going over, you move it over the side and you try to open it up without it falling out and breaking. So this design, love this design on here.
Yeah. This is more of, I'm sorry to interrupt. This is more of kind of like a treasure chest type of a thing. You could just kind of open the lid up and there's the treasure right inside. You just lift the top piece of foam off and that's what you will see right there.
And this is just a prototype. This is not, because it looks kind of jagged, so it's not the fully.
Yeah, that's a hand cut sample, and the factory does that. They put an actual statue in there, and they put it all together, put it in the box, and they drop it from, I think, 6, 8, and 10 feet to make sure that it does not, and repeatedly to make sure it doesn't break.
The drop test. Oh, it's awesome.
Yep. So I don't know.
It's going to protect your investment. Love that.
Absolutely.
So check that again. Yeah. So that's just going to open up treasure chest style, like you said.
Right.
So cool.
Yeah, that top lid will completely hinge up, and then you can just pick the parts out. Now, the part you don't see on that on the back side would be a little more information about the statue, manufacturer, and stuff like that. So,
okay, so going back to what you were talking about earlier, let's pretend I don't know what an art director does. What do you do for? Because you mentioned you do the painting, but it sounds like art directing is more than just painting. What does all that entail for you?
Sure. So it depends on what all I am going to do. If I am going to get involved with the painting part of it, then it's me managing myself and then working with, in the case of Coffin Comics, with your group of artists there to determine, is this the right shade? Are we going in the right direction with the sculpt? So it starts with the sculpture and the pose, and I work with the sculptors to fine tune and maybe refine the sculpting part of it. Whether it be the pose, or are there enough details or too many details? Sometimes you can put some things in there and you go, well, that's a little too much. So that's my call. And then, like I said, I work with our licensors to make sure that they're happy. with the product as far as colors and pose and all that sort of stuff. Now, if I'm painting, then, I have, it's a little more direct on that, but yeah, that's pretty much what I do. As far as the box art goes, that's all me as well. That's just because I have a background in package design. I've done it for close to 30 years now. And so, but still, we let our licensors have a little bit of input on that as to kind of the direction we're going with that. But that's what an art director does. I basically kind of keep the boat going in the same direction when it comes to all of the creative aspects. As far as Quarantine Studio goes, that also includes all of our branding, the website, anything and everything. The shirt that I'm wearing, there's stuff on the back here, all of that kind of cool, fun stuff. If it deals with artwork, that's me.
Goes to you. Oh, fun job. Wow.
Yeah.
So how did you meet Brian Pulido in Coffin Comics? How did that all start?
Yeah, well, like I said, Paul and I were big fans of the work for many years. We had been following Brian for a long time, even before Coffin Comics. And so, we were sitting around one day, and I think Paul maybe reached out to me and said, "Hey, man, have you seen this?" And I was like, "Holy cow, yeah, we got to reach out and see if they're doing any kind of statues." And that's how it happened. I think Paul reached out to Brian. Maybe on Facebook. I think they got linked up and started that conversation. So,
wow, easy. Look, all you have to do is email Brian, and boom, then you get a partnership. No, you guys do some amazing work. So I can see why we partnered with you guys, and it was a great call. And speaking of great calls, so I saw on your website that you announced that this statue broke the 12-year record. This is the most statue sold in 24 hours. This Lady Death.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. The previous record holder, I don't know if I can say who it is, but anyway, we had a previous statue that sold quite a few pieces. We were surprised, and it continued to sell for a long time. But the Lady Death here, man, just shattered those records for those one-day sales. I mean, as soon as it was announced, I believe Brian was the first to announce it, and then he kept posting updates to us, and we normally don't get updates like that. We'll have, people that'll, we sold X number of statues, and then maybe another week or so, we sold X more statues. Well, Brian was texting us about like every 30 minutes, every hour, and the number just kept going and going and going. It was awesome. So many thanks to all of you out there who made that possible.
Oh yeah, Sworn Nation and the Fiends. Holy cow! Yeah, they saw.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you just see this stat. It's standing right in front of me as well. But yeah, just seeing those prototypes, holy cow! It was like, yeah, it's a no-brainer for sure that it's selling so well. Who did those? So the product designs that we're promoting, the product, the photos like this one right here. Did you take those photos right there in that studio right there?
Yeah, I did. So that's another part of the art direction is the photography as well. So yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah. Yeah. Cause obviously, yeah, you definitely people need a good photo to see what this is. And I think those photos capture that perfectly.
Sure.
Yeah. Cause just looking at it here, man, this is gorgeous. So folks, hopefully you order this on that pre-order. Cause wow, this is a gorgeous statue. Oh yeah. This one I would ask you, this one. So this,
Yep.
So this is the bottom. So this is going to be underneath the statue for the base.
That's correct.
Numbered. So what are we limited to on this? What's the?
Yeah, it's kind of an odd number, but it's 870 pieces.
So under 1,000.
Under 1,000, yes. And what's funny is those 870 pieces, just about every one of them are already sold. So if you didn't get one, you better hurry.
So speaking of that, yeah, because you folks, let me add your website. So right here, so you could still get these. So you have the order in at the factory, and then so these are the extra ones you have. So you can actually still pick one up here, and this is the only place you can get it right now. Yep. And not only do you have this one.
And you can also see high-res photos there too. So if some of you, wanted to see some higher resolution photos, you can actually see them there.
And then you mentioned the model kit, so I think it's underneath this one.
Yep, should be under figure model kits. There she is.
Figure model kits, there it is. And okay, so it's the unpainted ones. You want to show?
Right. Yeah, I actually have one right here. Yeah, I have a test shot here of how it will come unpainted. Now, and before I show that, I'd like to say a little bit about the way we do this. So if you purchase the pre-painted, you really don't want to deal with a whole lot. You want to take it out of the box, put it on display, and that's pretty much what you get with this. So she will come off. So Lady Death herself is completely assembled, and I'm just going to set her down over here. And then you have this base, which, as you can see, is a skeletal hand that's holding her. But as you can imagine, these little bones are little Ridley bits, so they actually come out. They're going to be keyed, and they are keyed, and they will be color-coded, I believe, is what they're using for these, so you'll know which socket they go into. And one of the features that Quarantine Studios started, and I'm going to claim this, we did start this because it was not done until we did it. Every one of these, the sockets, instead of using a pin configuration like that uses just a friction pin to hold it in place, every one of our statues the past few years have used rare earth magnets. So there's a rare earth magnet in the tip of this finger, and then in this base, and then it'll all go in there. That's it makes life a lot easier when you are trying to move these things around. And if you're a collector, like I'm sure most of you are, you're going to keep this collection a long time. So this is going to make it really easy for you to maybe take this down, store it in case you have to move, because this will go right back into the box. You're not going to have to worry about these little fiddly parts breaking off. So we do the same thing.
And that's the worst on these with those, like the little fiddly parts when they just like the little that you don't want that little finger to be breaking. Brilliant.
Yep. So and I had to preface this with that because here's how the model kit comes.
Yeah.
So here's a test shot of the model kit. There's all the different pieces, so that it can make it a lot easier for people to paint them. And every one of these, so like here's her body. Now the body is pretty much one piece except for this front arm and her head. Obviously we couldn't put it all together. You wouldn't be able to paint it correctly if you did. But again, all of these parts, if I can grab one of them out of here, there is a key. This is her front arm that goes in there, and it has a rare earth magnet. So even with the model kit, you're getting that feature so that once you have created this fabulous paint job, if you needed to move it, you could take it back apart, put it back in all these nice little individual slots, and box it right back up. It's going to be the same box that the painted piece comes in, same size, everything. It's just different cutouts. That's it, to hold the individual parts. So, we started doing that because it really started because of necessity from me traveling with my paint ups after spending hours, maybe even days sometimes painting up a piece. It was terrible going to a trade show only to pull this piece out and a little fiddly bit break off, So that makes for a bad display. So we went with the rare earth magnets, and it was just such a hit. We just started doing it on everything.
So so let's go through the full process from pitching it to Brian, and then you guys get the artwork, and then to where we are at Q4 when they ship. So how does that look?
Sure. So the way that looks is, of course, we work with our licensor, whoever it's going to be. We decide on which piece we want to do. We come up with some initial sketches, maybe, or in the case of you guys, you've already got the best sketches in the world, so we just maybe draw from one of those, and we'll send that to our 3D artist. We work with a few of those, a few different folks. And the way we do it is a little bit different. A lot of places, they may work with multiple artists, but it's just here, this artist gets this artist gets that. We tend to shop it around. We kind of know where the strengths of our artists lie. And so depending on the piece, that's who it goes to. You know, I don't want to have someone that's really good at figures, but terrible at like mechanical type things, try to do something that's mechanical, because that's really, they could probably do it, but it might not be the best work. So we work really closely with our artists and get them, you know, get their input on it. How do they feel about it? Does it feel like something they would really groove on? And by allowing an artist to do their own thing, be an artist, you get a lot better results. And so that's what we do. We work with them, figure out who's going to do it. And now pretty much everything that we do is going to be 3D. Everything is going to be digitally designed using 3D software. There's different ones out there. And then once the artist gets that, we go through a series of approvals, tweaking poses. And that's one of the really great things about the whole 3D revolution is I'm not going to say it's easy to make a change, but it's easier than working with traditional sculpting, which is the clay and the wax and things like that. So it's definitely a push forward with that. But then once we get a 3D rendering approved, we'll do some colors in the software as well. Just kind of look at some of the colors and just some basic colors there. And then it's printed. And I actually have some 3D printed shots here of Lady Death. So obviously this is her main torso here. This one has been primed in a kind of a reddish color, but you can see some of it is missing, and that's where I've gone in and maybe worked over some of the details. So I will get a 3D printed piece. This thing is hollow. It's already been keyed for the other parts, and so you'll see there's some big holes here in her legs and things like that. And so what I do is I go through and I fit these, and so here is one of her legs, and you can see there's this huge pin up here at the top. So that's going to go in her leg just like that. And the really amazing thing about the 3D printing is that you can print a part here. Now this one you can actually see, you may not be able to see on the camera here, but I can see a little bit of a line there, and we actually have a little bit of a line. But I'll go in and I'll clean that up, or it might get done at the factory. When you get this statue here, the finished piece, you'll never see that line. It's all blended in. But they have to do this because the printer can only print so far, so we have to kind of break it apart in pieces. So those pieces come to me. I tweak them a little bit. We kind of massage them, make sure they're going to fit together for production. And then from there, once that's all looks good to me, it gets boxed up, sent to our factory. Our factory will look it over. They will maybe make some tweaks based on their production process. And then they will send me a test shot. And that's basically what I just showed you as that model kit. They will send me a test shot of the model kit with it broken down and a test shot of it where it's all put together, such as Lady Death. They will send me a couple of those, and then I will have one of those, or actually two of those painted, which will then go to our licensor for approvals on colors and all that sort of stuff. And then it goes back to the factory with hopefully with an approval. And then they start cranking them out. While the factory is producing these several hundred pieces, it's a long process. Not only have you got a lot of casting and stuff like that going on, but every one of these pieces, even on the model kit, and that's one of the great things, if you're a modeler, was probably not good if you're a modeler, because if you're a modeler, you kind of like removing seams and doing stuff like that. You're not going to have that with these. They're just too perfect. So you just take it out of the box and paint it. But while all of this is going on and being produced, that takes a while because there's a lot of work that goes into that. I start working on the box art. So while we've got some things going on over there, I'm working on the box art, working back and forth with the licensor to get approvals on that. And then all of that goes to the factory as well. And in the case of the Lady Death, there's even a certificate of authenticity. So that has to be done. And so I'm doing my thing here. The factory's doing their thing there. and then hopefully within a few months of them getting the prototype pieces, the resin printed pieces there, we actually have actual product here on the U.S. shores shipping to our customers.
So what kind of time frame does that look like from beginning to end? What kind of?
Yeah, it depends on the complexity of the project. I mean, I have had projects in excess of 2 years, just
Whoa.
because just because there's a lot of back and forth and some problem solving going on. But on average, I would say between probably around 6 or 8 months, maybe sometimes less. It really depends on the complexity of the project. Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts of that. A lot of things that people don't realize that have to go on.
Yeah, there's a lot of hiccups that could really delay a project. So, wow.
Oh, yeah. A minor hiccup can make a big delay. But even if something doesn't have a hiccup, and fortunately, Lady Death didn't really have any hiccups at all. It was a really smooth ride. So we're getting pretty good at this, I think.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yes, especially since it's still on track for Q4 delivery. Wow. Yeah. Let's see if any questions here. We got we got Jeff saying top quality right there. Yes.
Thank you, Jeff.
Also, yeah, this artwork is based off of eBass, Eric Basaluda. Mm-hmm. Yeah, love that sculpt on there. Let's see. Yeah, the whole statue is so freaking cool. Yep, we agree. Yeah. Oh, here's a good question for Bob. Did you ever think about using a real cloth for the cape?
We did. And you want to talk about complications. That's where you really get into some complications when you start using real materials. First, it's you have to find a material, cloth has a texture to it. And when we're talking about something that's 1/5 scale, now you're having to use things like microfibers and things like that, which is available. Don't get me wrong. But to create the drapes and all these little wrinkles and things like this, that's a much more involved process. And when you get down to something this scale, it just doesn't look right, unfortunately. Yeah, I'd love to be able to do that. I think that'd be awesome, but it never seems to look correct. If you go up much larger scale, like I know there is another line of products out there that are quarter scale, and they are a really high-end product, but we're talking statues that are in the $600 to $1,000 range that have real cloth in them. So that's another thing. We don't play in that territory because there's not too many people that can collect in that territory. So we try to stay in a category that's available for most everybody.
Yeah, that price point is a little too steep for a lot of folks. Okay, here's another comment. Wow, that's Coffin style commitment to packaging. Yeah, because Coffin's known for, basically we try to ship comics as if, we love comics, so we make sure it's safe. So obviously you do the same thing with that, making sure those packages, it will not get damaged in shipping. So thank you for that. Love that.
Yeah, absolutely. And the printed box that you saw there, that black box, that will actually get wrapped in a cellophane bag, and then the whole thing gets put in its own corrugated shipping box. So every one of these statues actually comes with 2 boxes, the collectible box and then the shipping box. So you should have no problems keeping both the statue and the box in tip-top shape.
Double boxed. Yeah, I love it.
Man.
Okay, here's a question from Kristen. What is usually the most difficult thing to replicate on the statues?
Wow. I tell you what, anymore, there's nothing that cannot be replicated. I think if you had interlocking parts, it might be a little bit more difficult. To create it digitally, not a problem. We can actually 3D print things that we can't manufacture. There is and I'll just refer to it here just a moment. Let's see here. Go this side here. There's a statue back here, and I know you guys can't see it, but there is a Templar Night. That knight is full chainmail, all the way from his boots all the way to his neck. The chainmail links in there are individual links. once it's 3D printed, it could have been individual links and actually been mesh, but there's no way to produce that in mass scale. So the details on it are absolutely insane. Yep, it's right there.
Let's see if we can see that chainmail on there. Oh yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, look at that.
Dang. Are these hand painted when they?
Yes. Every statue that comes out of Quarantine Studio is hand painted.
Wow, your hand must hurt.
Yeah, I've got me, my wife, my 2 kids, and no, the factory does it, but they have a huge staff of very talented artists. But every single one of them is hand painted. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. You have to have. Yeah, there has to be some talent to do that. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that particular statue that you're showing, we had that was one where I did the art direction. I didn't do the actual painting on it. A good friend of ours did that one. And again, when we're picking an artist to paint something, we pick somebody who kind of has a talent for that particular style. And David there had a style for that kind of gritty, grungy look, and he did an amazing job with it.
And you said this one too. You have the head can come off with magnets and replace it.
Yep.
So we're looking at the same statue just with the different head.
That's right. Yep. There's 3 different heads for that one. You can see the zombie head there and the other one, and then there's a helmed head as well.
Oh, the helm. Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Oh, so, that is cool.
Yep. Yeah. So, it's just kind of like collectible covers. Sometimes you have like a gold edition or something. We try to throw some different things in from time to time. Wow. So, yeah. And I have talk about some of the things are what's maybe not possible. I have another statue over my shoulder here. That is I guess about a quarter scale bust. You can actually, if you get a magnifying glass out, you can actually see the pores in the skin. That's how detailed it can be. So, yeah.
So Drake is loving that night. Outstanding. Yeah, got to agree on that.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, Kristen got another question. What is your favorite project character to replicate that's not Lady Death or Coffin Comics? Let's say that. For a long time, Quarantine Studio, and even before that, the Garage Kit company we had, Model Giants, we always did original IPs. And so those are always my favorite. I'm a collector too. I've got statues over here of things that I like. I'm a big, I don't want to say a Batman fan because it's not so much Batman so much as it is Joker. So for me, it's things like that. But as far as the statues that we have created, my favorite, I think, are back here above me. Over here, we've got a series of World War II German soldiers that are zombies. And in this case, they're busts. But they're just so cool. It's kind of a weird little esoteric piece. But I really like those. And we're working on maybe doing full figures of those as well. So I think those would probably be my favorites. Even the box art on that one to me is my favorite. So. Are those on? I'm looking on the website, see if there's. Oh,
no, those are completely sold out. Those were one of our earlier projects, and that's why I say we're thinking about bringing those back as a full scale figure. We've had a lot of demand for those, so we wanted to do more. So I think something like that would probably be my favorite.
Oh, yeah, these mini. What are these mini busts here?
Oh yeah,
yeah. This again. These. So, let me share the screen here. Share. Boom. Yeah, these caught my eye. This is especially the wolf, the Dracula.
Yeah, those are. We had originally intended those to be maybe a keychain size, kind of small. We have a whole series of keychains that are small, fit in your pocket. But when we got those, they were considerably larger. Those are probably 5th scale, somewhere along that. So, I mean, they're bigger than that head is bigger than her head. And they're just really cool. I think you could use them maybe as a refrigerator magnet or something like that, but they're a lot of fun to paint. The artist that did that is a traditional sculpt. It's not a digital print. And they're just neat little projects. We try to have different little things for people to collect. not everybody has, $400 or $500 for a statue, but they may have, $10 or $20 for a smaller statue or something like that. So we try to vary it up a little bit.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I got some fun. Oh, that's the model kits again. Where's your pre-painted? There we go. Yeah. Just going through your website. And also, yeah, I also enjoy your YouTube channel. Very informative stuff. Thought it was really fun. Oh, the Death Dealer. Nice. And then what else we saw in here that was really cool? I think it was under the bust. Nope. Oh, that's the kits. I don't know. So yeah, great stuff. Had fun looking at all that stuff. Definitely have to go back and check it out. So folks, go check it out if you're into statues and model kits and all that. But what do we got? We got a couple more minutes here. So let's recap what we talked about.
Sure.
And let's pull this up. So folks who are joining us a little later, boom.
Yeah.
Lady Death statue is on track.
Yep.
And shipping out.
We're hoping, Q4. So we're hoping around December, hoping maybe fingers crossed, maybe before Christmas.
2020 for.
Yep. 2020 this year. Yeah.
And you know what? I should have talked about this her more too. Love this statue. Oh, so she's also coming out for pre-order Q1 of 2021.
Right. Yep.
And this is just in the design phase.
Yes. The artist has not had a whole lot of time with that. In just a little bit of time, he's already got the pose down and kind of got the basic structures there. But there's going to be a lot more details added to it. What you're seeing there is obviously a 3D rendering of it, but he is doing an amazing job. You don't see all of the base there, but there's a full base with the skulls and everything, all kinds of really cool details that'll be coming up on that piece. So yeah.
Yes, the microchrome art based off of this one, so we're heading towards that. So, yeah, wow. Oh yeah, the skulls. Yeah. Oh, that is going to be so cool.
Yeah, and Paul and I were discussing this today. What else can we put in there? A little extra for the for you guys. So, like I say, stay tuned. There'll be some really cool stuff coming up with that one.
Yeah, stay tuned for sure. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, she's barely standing on any heads right there. So pretty soon. Yeah, so how many, to try to get, so it's going to be tough to take a 2D image, try to make it 3D. How long does it take to finally get there?
Yeah, it could take, a couple of months. It just depends on the artist and his schedule or her schedule, whomever we're working with. We've worked with some artists that, kind of right now in this time, maybe their other projects have kind of gotten put aside. And we have an artist that works for Disney, and so some of that stuff's kind of slowed down. So he had a little more time to devote to our projects. So sometimes these things go by really quick, and then other times they take a little while. But yeah, I would say probably around that about 3 months is usually about average from start to finish.
Yeah, it's going to see all the the veins and the wings. That's going to take a while to get that in.
And it'll be there.
In there.
Yeah. And then, the nature of the bony structure of the wings, all of those little details will be in there. When this gentleman gets done with this thing, it'll look like she can just reach out and snatch you next.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see the progress as we get there, and then to see the paint. So would you be doing the paint job on this one for the prototype?
We haven't decided on that yet. So we'll just have to see. Those things kind of come and go too, because as I said, I have a lot of roles to fill as art director here, and as much as I want to paint every one of them myself, I also want to make sure that we're staying on track and getting product into the hands of the customers as quick as possible. So we'll just kind of have to see how that goes.
Well, thank you for doing that. We appreciate that. You're doing a good job.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, and if people want to stay up latest with the latest news, obviously you guys will be keeping them updated, because we're going to be keeping you updated. But we also have a newsletter where we keep our fans updated as well. So you want to find out what's going on at Quarantine Studio. Just go to the website, the newsletter little thing will pop up, and just sign up for it. And
pop up right now. But also follow on social media. You got Facebook, and follow the YouTube channel as well, because it's pretty informative. Hopefully you add some more to that, and hopefully we can get you back on in the future to get some more updates as we get closer. Love to do this again to give folks get more. And it'd be great if we could do whenever, I don't know, any updates would be great. I mean,
sure, absolutely. We'd love to come back. Yeah. I think we're going to have a long and lasting relationship between the two of us, our two companies. I really see that. We're going to do everything we can to keep it, and I know you guys are too. So we keep bringing the good stuff.
Oh yeah, so far so good with the delivery of this statue eBash you did. Can't wait for this Hell Witch. Here's Drake saying, "Thank you for the chat one. Your work is fantastic. We all got to agree. We agree on that."
Thanks, Drake.
Thank you so much, William. We know you're very busy, and thank you for taking the time to give us the update and talk about this and so we can learn more about you. Really appreciate it and your company.
Absolutely.
So the mighty Everhart, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Listen, you guys have a great one. Thank you so much.
You too. All right, everyone out there, stick around. We got more coming up on Crucial Con 2020. Thank you.